The best guitars come from trees about 800 years old, trees with enough rings in their trunks to provide wood with a tight and straight grain, wood flexible enough to vibrate, yet strong enough to withstand the pull of the guitar strings. The guitar traveled from North Africa to Europe with the Moors, who invaded Spain in the 8th century. In time, the guitar became the signature instrument of Spanish flamenco music and the trademark of the singing cowboy. In the 1930s, the acoustic guitar debuted as a jazz instrument. By the 1960s, as the electric guitar took over rock and roll, the acoustic guitar remained a staple of the folk music scene. They use spruce or cedar because those woods are lightweight and vibrate well. Using a 30-ton press that works like a cookie cutter, they punch out the shape of the guitar. The size of the sound hole affects how the guitar will sound. The larger the hole, the more treble. The smaller the hole, the more bass. Then they glue on a wood inlay decoration called a rosette. Next, they make the sides of the guitar. They first immerse wood pieces in boiling water for about 15 seconds. Then place them in a heated press to make the curve. The press applies heat from both the top and the bottom for about a minute. Then they connect the two sides with blocks of wood made of either mahogany or poplar. One is glued and clamped at the bottom, the other at the top. Then they glue on and clamp a wooden lining which will connect the sides to the top and back. Those little cuts give it flexibility around the curves. Then with a hand router, they carefully notch the lining to receive 4 wooden braces to support the back of the guitar. Strategically placed braces help the top of the guitar withstand the tension of the strings. They also equalize sound frequencies by controlling vibration differently at different spots. After a vacuum press makes the bracing adhere evenly, they glue on the top and bottom. The body of the guitar is now assembled. It goes into a press, then a drying rack for several hours. Next, they glue on a plastic binding to protect the guitar's edges. Then comes a fine sanding. Next, a machine with a special sensor measures the precise angle at which the body and neck of the guitar will later be attached. The angle is critical for sound quality. It drills the holes and sands the pieces accordingly. Next, they apply lacquer, 4 to 8 coats depending on the finish. The fingerboard is made of rosewood or ebony. The metal frets separate the half tones on the musical scale. An adjustable rod goes inside the neck. This lets the neck adapt to the different tensions that different types of strings require. They glue the fingerboard on the neck, then vacuum press it to make sure it adheres evenly. Next, they install the machine heads on which the strings will be wound. The rod in the neck slips into a groove on the body. The neck is then bolted and clamped until the glue dries. Next, they glue on the bridge, securing it with temporary screws and a clamp. Then they glue on the headstock nut, a hard plastic piece that spaces the strings evenly. Next comes the saddle, then the bridge pins which lock the strings in the bridge. Finally, they string the guitar using an electric winder. Because of all the glue drying time, it takes 3 weeks to make a guitar. The wood will become suppler the more the guitar is played, so as the guitar ages, the better it will sound.